I might be the most underrated, most underdog, most slept on, most hated on, but what people don't understand is I don't about that. Like one person's opinion is not gonna shape the way that I feel.
Hello and welcome back to Statistic TV. It's your boy DJ T-Cell, and today we are back for another review on CellReviews. And today we are reviewing the game with Born to Rap, which is actually going to be his last ever album, as he has told numerous news sources. For those that don't know who the game is, he's really been no stranger into hip-hop. He started off his career with the documentary with Dr. Dre as the executive producer of their album, possibly his best album to date. Still a lot of classic cuts on that. At least amassing over 5 singles with Hey I Love It, How We Do, Dreams, you name it. There were so many singles on that project. I don't think any other project actually matches up to the level or the precedent that album actually set. He followed up with the Doctor's Advocate, which he was kind of pandering towards Dr. Dre. I'm not gonna say pandering, I'm gonna say more of kind of saying that he still wants to work with him despite the whole 50 Cent beef, which is what basically dismantled the relationship between Dre and the game. And pretty much he has continued to produce a lot of good albums. Like I said, Dr. Advocate followed up from the double platinum album, the documentary. The game pretty much showed how good he is. He has some good songs in there like Let's Ride, as well as Wouldn't Get Far. Album was bumping, in my honest opinion. With this album though, I don't think it is on the same level as those two albums that I just mentioned, but I think it is good enough for an outro, and this is the ending. This is the end sort of album, and I think his mind was mainly geared towards that. If I was to compare this to any album, I'll probably say that this is on the same level as Jesus Peace. Definitely better than LAX, which I didn't really feel that album. And to be honest, I've noticed a straight decline since Doctor's Advocate. In my opinion, it still hasn't topped it. Even with the documentary 2 and 2.5, still didn't top anything of his earlier works. Going on to this album, the game sort of took a different approach in this album. The similarities between the starting of this album and 1992, which he released in 2016, is quite similar, even down to the detail of how it starts off with Ed Sheeran with City of Sin. And again with Ed Sheeran on the track Roadside, you can actually hear this parallel with another track from of 1992, which was called Savage Lifestyle. I'm not making this up. I could probably hear Ed Sheeran's ad-libs in the background, which makes a kind of a smooth transition. If you're listening on Spotify, you'll just go straight to the previous album, and you probably think that you're still listening to the same albums. So in terms of progression, in terms of if he has changed his sound from 1992 to now, it sounds like a continuation from 1992. It sounds like it's still telling the same story from 1992. In fact, if you put the album side by side, aside from the Nipsey Hussle tribute, you won't really find much difference in both albums. Now, the only difference which is really obvious here is the fact that he is bringing everything into a close. He is showing us what he's been doing for the past years on end, such as working with the new school artists that are out there. On this project, you have 21 Savage appearing on it. You also have D Smoke, who is the winner of Rhythm and Flow, which was a show, a kind of contesting kind of show, similar to X Factor but more for hip hop. Can I say X Factor? I don't know. It had T.I., Chance the Rapper, and Cardi B judging the artists that were showing their performance on there. D Smoke won it, and he actually had a very good appearance on this project. I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed the story he had to tell. The track with 21 Savage on it, I also enjoyed that track very, very much. Really good storytelling from the game's point of view. I don't think 21 Savage is on the same level as the game in terms of storytelling, but he done what he needed to do. The beat switch up was also very convenient to get you right back into the into the whole mood of the album, considering we just had the best tribute of all time given to Nipsey Hussle. I haven't heard anyone done any kind of better tribute than this. And after that note, it's of course on a downer, and the game recognizes that and brings it right back to where it's supposed to be. The game has released 14 mixtapes spanning from 2003 to 2013. He has released also 9 studio albums, that is, again spanning from 2005 to present day. He has also released 5 independent albums from 2003 to 2006, and it's also to be honest, I think he deserves a lot more applause. He deserves a lot more credit, because he has never ranked any lower than 6th position for all his studio albums, and that's an incredible feat in my honest opinion for someone who's really not on the same level as Drake or on the same level as Jay-Z or anyone that is commercially prominent right now. He is still ranked highly on the Billboard charts. Now a lot of people may not think this is a good feat, but it's very hard to get onto the charts in the first place, and for your albums, which is not really commercially like that, like in terms of commercially friendly, because if you know anything to do with the game, he's not really your commercial rapper. He's not the rapper that you go to represent your brand. It's very hard for you to get onto the charts, let alone get onto the top 10. So for you to put out albums after albums that reaches and peaks at number 6 or higher, it's an incredible feat, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for this. He has also been nominated for Grammy Awards. Like I said, I think he is possibly one of the most underrated rappers to walk, because it doesn't get mentioned in anyone's top 50 if people take those lists very seriously. He doesn't really come up in conversations to do with hip-hop. It's always revolving around the usual substance of Biggie, Pac, Black Thought, Andre 3 Stacks, etc. No one really gives a nod to the game. For someone who is consistently telling a story every time he is spitting, who always and to be honest, I think maybe he gets overlooked because of his nature. I'm not too sure, but for someone who is able to always consistently call out and never ever hang back, it's quite interesting to see as well. It's quite interesting to see how fearless the game is in the music industry. I think he's definitely one of these acts that people are gonna miss, and people are gonna miss that aura, that no fear attitude that he always has. Even on this new album, calls out the likes of Kendrick, calls out the likes of Drake, calls out a lot of rappers on here, saying that if that they should all come and challenge him to show that, so that he can prove to people why he is the best and that he is the best. He has no fear in talking about people's wives, even when they are married and taken off. Like, for example, Cardi B married to Offset, but yet drops the name Nicki Minaj, even though she had a thing with Safari. She is still with this guy that she just hooked up with from jail. You would think that the game would look at that and say, maybe I shouldn't mention her. He does it anyway. And to be quite fair, looking at the game and knowing his backstory, I don't think the guy is gonna mess with him, in all fairness. I've been looking for that track where the game is actually mentioned Safari and Nicki, and I can't find it. So if you find it, please let me know in the comment section. He has not just been constantly doing well for the past 13-14 years. He has also been putting on new acts that actually approaches him or wants to play the game. He worked with Kendrick Lamar on the Red album. He's also worked with Nipsey Hussle when it was coming up on his mixtapes. Last mixtape was Operation to Kill, OPE, OKE, I believe, and he was also working with Ty Dolla $ign as well, before he even got his blow up, which came in 2014-2015. So he's not really a stranger of actually working with new artists. He's always been doing it, and now they're all shining. They're all shining. So the game has had contributions like that. To be honest, like he, even on this album, you also have him giving newer artists a chance to actually showcase their talent. You have Mozzie, who's actually bubbling up as right now. It's featured on Karma Electra. His albums, you always get value for your money because you don't just get to hear the game, you also get to hear a lot of voices. He goes against J. Cole's model of no features whatsoever and overloads his albums with features. Even have me wondering how is he affording all these features. Like, but then again, he is a professed gangbanger, so I guess that's where the money is coming from. Apart from 1992, which had probably just 1 or 2 features on it, which was just Jeremiah on it. Born to Rap actually takes it to a whole nother level. It has the likes of Travis Barker, has the likes of Ed Sheeran. You have Miguel featuring on the album. You also have 21 Savage, Red Cafe, Mozzie, Bryson Tiller, Anderson .Paak, Trey Songz, you name it. He's got a lot of features on his album. So once you actually buy the CD, it's actually worth your money. It's worth your time because the features on this gave phenomenal performances. I personally did not think he was going to use Ed Sheeran in the way he did. He used him correctly, if I'm being honest. It didn't used it better than Eminem used him in Revival. I personally think Ed Sheeran's addition to this album actually gave a great send-off to the game. It actually reminds us. It actually puts a full circle on the album arc that he gave us since the documentary, when he revealed that he was actually an orphan, left out to fend for himself at such a young age. Tragic story, if I'm being honest. Like, probably has the hardest upcoming story that I've heard in hip hop thus far. Still out there. I don't know if you've heard any much more harsher stories than that. Let me know in the comment section. And the replay value on this, I think you would go back to it and revisit it once he actually hasn't dropped any new music. There are quite a number of tracks on here that's actually very, very good. I don't think it has the same production quality though as his previous albums, such as it's a lot better than 992, but it's not on the same level as Documentary or The Doctor's Advocate, but it is close to Jesus Peace. But that being said though, Jesus Peace is such a massive album on its own respect that if you're looking for a track like Albert Ali Bomaye on this album, you won't find it. But in terms of production quality, it is close to that. It's also close to Documentary 2. It's kind of a mirror kind of image because the game sound actually changed a lot since the Documentary 2 and Documentary 2.5 to what we have today. So looking at all those aspects, I can actually you will see an evolution with the game, and the way that he's brought all of those aspects, all of those factors in to this album and brings it all to a close is something that we have to applaud and actually admire. The reason why it's retiring, I can speculate, I can possibly say that it's because of the case that he had going on with a woman who accused him of sexual assault, and she basically won, and what happened was whatever music he puts out, that money would have to go to her. So maybe that's why he has actually retired. I don't know why he chose to make such a U-turn in his life. There are probably other reasons, but that's what's looking likely. That being said, if that's how he was gonna pay for the women only through his music, smart move. I wouldn't pay. I wouldn't do music either. I'll be like, yep, I'm not paying you any cent of mine. What? But to be honest, it is the game. I don't know why the game just couldn't turn up to the trials and just attend. He would have won otherwise, because her case was really, anyway, that's another story for another day. That being said, I'm just gonna bring this review to a close. Thank you so much for checking out this review. I'm curious to know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think of the album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Is the game gonna go on top, or in this case, is he going to continue giving us features? He did say on the album that he was gonna raise his feature price, but we don't know. Like, is he gonna put out singles? Is he gonna actually drop an album? We don't know what he's gonna do next. But that being said, I do hope that he does continue making music. I do enjoy the stories he tell. I do find it very cathartic. In fact, I forgot to mention earlier, he went really vulnerable on this album. Not like he hasn't done it before. He's done it. He's always been vulnerable. But on this, he took it up a notch, even wanting to kill his own brother. I thought that was quite immense. I think you'll find that on this album, there's a lot to actually unpack here. There's a lot more. The game is a lot more relatable. The game is a lot more dynamic. It's a lot more diverse in how he wants to deliver his messages. But that being said, anyway, I'm just gonna bring this album to a close. I'm looking forward to the Ja Rule album that's actually coming out this month in December. So that's one album I'm definitely looking forward to review. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. And yeah, I'll see you on the next review. Peace.